The big buffalo had his hand around the prince's throat. Dirty Fred snapped at the mestizo, voice low and dangerous.
You! You can't kill the boy.
Oh, no, and why not?
Because I'll be the one to kill him, and whoever tries to stop me can join him.
The mestizo brute blinked slowly. For a second, he looked almost puzzled.
This rat traveled on the Honolulu Star. He knew I was stowed away in a crate below deck. Right before we docked, he flipped my trunk over and stacked it under a pile of heavy luggage.
That's a mistake. I didn't know you were on board, Mr. Dirty.
Liar! It was you. I lay there until midnight with a suitcase crushing my ribs. I nearly suffocated.
The big buffalo burst into laughter, and when Fred stepped forward to collect his just revenge, the giant blocked his way.
From this moment on, the kid's my friend. Got it?
I'm going to kill him.
Tension thickened like smoke in a boiler room.
Looking for a fight?
No, I'm looking to finish you. That brat made a fool of you, and I like that. Anyone who lays a finger on him will regret it.
Fred ran his grimy fingers slowly through his wiry beard. His face twisted into a mockery of a smile, 1,000 wrinkles orbiting his yellow teeth.
Everyone's afraid of you because they don't know you're stupid. Too stupid for your strength to matter. But me? I'll deal with you, Buffalo. You know that.
Dirty Fred, old, bearded, and wearing the same clothes for weeks, spoke to the terror of Singapore as if he were a lost goatling caught on a railway track. But something held the monster back. Some reason he didn't just squash Fred with a single blow. Maybe it was the captain's left hand, still tucked casually in his pocket. While his right stroked his beard, the left was holding... what? A knife? A pistol? And Dirty Fred never hesitated when it came to using either.
You won't hurt the boy, you blabbering old goat.
I'll gut him like a cow, you walking tin can of beef.
If only I knew what he's hiding in that bulging pocket, Buffalo thought with a growl.
The boy's not going anywhere without me.
Smart move.
Even the real Trebitch nodded under a damp rag pressed to his swollen cheek.
That wild child deserves a chill. He knocked out Tulip, wrecked Busy Gizzard, took on the buffalo, and even had a go at you, Captain.
Quite the diligent lad. Still, I'll kill him.
Buffalo almost lunged, but Fred's pocket bulged even more as his hand tensed. The giant straightened up.
I like this boy, not just because he embarrassed an old fool, but because he's got guts. He's my roommate now. No one touches him.
Silence fell. The buffalo. Taking in a roommate? A kid?
Keep babbling. The more you talk, the more ridiculous you sound. I'll kill the boy.
Fred slumped to the floor with a grunt. After the buffalo left with his highness, Fred grumbled a while, then turned to the innkeeper.
A damn detective took my revolver at the docks. Worse, he confiscated my knife too. Anyone got a pocket knife?
He pulled his left hand from his pocket. All that noise, all that tension, for an apple. The prince sat in the filthy den, too exhausted to care anymore.
I'm hungry.
Buffalo seemed momentarily confused. Then, without a word, he left and returned with bread and meat. He stood and watched the boy eat, silent, almost shy. It was the first time in his life he had done something simply because someone asked.
Where are you from?
Escaped from Batavia?
What do you want here?
I don't know. Right now I just want to sleep.
He lay down on the buffalo's own mat. There was no other. The giant sat cross-legged beside him, unmoving until morning, watching over him. By the next day, everyone knew. Buffalo had gone mad. He doted on the kid like a nanny goat, dragging him everywhere, shielding him from harm. Anyone who tried to mess with the boy would suffer. Buffalo, who never loved anyone, had lost his mind. To love. That evening, someone called in.
His Grace is summoning the Council of the Cold. You're expected in 1 hour.
The big buffalo instinctively reached for the nearest bottle to hurl at the messenger's head, but the prince calmly took it from his hand.
I don't like that.
The buffalo blinked like a scolded puppy.
Fine, tell him I'll come, but wait. I'm bringing the wild child too, just in case Dirty Fred tries anything funny.
The messenger stumbled away, shaken. Buffalo. Gone soft?
What's the Council of the Cold?
Every gang's got a boss, right? Those bosses have their own club. That's the Council of the Cold. They talk about stuff that concerns us all
And why cold?
because nothing warms them from the inside. No feelings, no conscience, just cold logic. Anyone who brings up principles gets laughed out of the room.
And this, His Grace, is he a criminal too?
Not like us. But he committed a crime big enough to get a death sentence.
Where?
In the capital of the Isles of Happiness. Sentenced by the ruling Archduke of St. Antonio himself.
What's his name?
Alvarez. Used to be president. You okay?
His Highness staggered slightly.
Tell me everything.
Not much to tell. Back then, Alvarez was fighting the pirate Warrens when St. Antonio swept in and crushed them both. Alvarez came here broke. That was long ago. Some of his people fled with him. Businesses collapsed in Elmira, and they'd be rich again if St. Antonio lost the throne and Alvarez took over.
Buffalo explained that these exiles funded Alvarez. He built an army from jobless sailors and misfits, organized into clubs. Every club leader could raise a gang when called. Alvarez was waiting for the right moment to strike, just like St. Antonio had once struck him. If he conquered the island, it'd mean riches and peace for the club members. Until then, he gave them money and promises.
But the English protect the St. Antonios.
I don't know politics. But Alvarez isn't just dealing with the underworld. He's got contacts, big names, mostly American. They lost a lot when his republic fell. But all that's vague.
The prince said nothing. So many plots, so many shadows hovering around his throne. If they found out who he was, they'd kill him on the spot. The prince got up, and Buffalo followed like an obedient giant. They walked the same path the gang had dragged him through days before. His bruised and swollen face still bore the colors of that welcome. Black, blue, and crimson lumps where once had been a handsome young man. Now, just a warped mask. Around a dozen misfits sat in the chamber of his grace. Hulking, ragged figures, some barely human. Tulip was there, along with someone even stockier than his previous owner. A round, stubbly man with a piggish head. This was Cannibal Baby, president of the Sober and Sporty Gentlemen's Club. Dirty Fred sat on an overturned crate, cleaning his nails with a knife. In the center sat a tall, thin man in green, hawk-nosed and bony. Alive or dead, he was worth 2,000 pounds, better known as Moonlight Charlie. Next to him slouched a drunken old woman with matted hair, called Mimosa. She was an expert in narcotics, and behind an American-style desk, dazzling in elegance, sat His Grace, Alvarez. Only the buffalo was missing. Until now.
The wild child has no place in the council.
None of your business, Witch. You're not the one who decides.
I'll wait outside. No need to start a fight.
Buffalo didn't argue. The prince stepped into the foyer, where Porter Rob was busy playing dice with Busy Gizzard. A poisoner from Brusa had gifted Rob with loaded dice, slightly weighted on one side for lucky throws. Since both players knew the trick, the game was fair. Others rushed back and forth to meetings. The whole underworld buzzed with tension. Behind Rob, a colorful sign hung on a door that looked like a mine shaft. Fortune favors the bold. This was the Club of the Card Sharks. A second plaque read, "Do not damage the cards with your nails." The backs have been marked by management. Any additional scratching is unnecessary. Motto: nothing new under the cards.
Hey, old buddy, got any news? Oh, by the way, I hate to bring it up, but you still owe me money.
I owe you?
Don't sweat it. Tulipan took back the $2.50. I'm not blaming you for being unsellable, but don't worry, pay me back when you can. Not worth the fuss, right?
The prince was speechless from sheer cheek.
You'll get used to oddities here. Unless Dirty Fred slits your throat, which sadly is quite likely. Only Buffalo and Spiky Vanek have ever dared defy him.
Spiky Vanek. Where is he? I've got a message for him.
Check the puddings. Red-haired pig of a man.
The puddings had a door down the hall. Trebitsch led the way.
Puddings? What do they do?
Insurance.
Are you joking? What kind of insurance?
Insomnia.
Now you're mocking me.
Swear on my honor. A shopkeeper pays a small fee and sleeps soundly, knowing the puddings won't break in. Double coverage. No insomnia and no burglary.
Extortion, then?
Strong word, but yes. They're called puddings, 'cause their victims tremble like jelly. Though, ironically, puddings don't pay. That's the flaw in the name.
Aha! And puddings tremble too.
Exactly. Only difference is, the pudding doesn't pay. That's the one flaw in the dough.
By then, they had reached the pudding's door. They reached the door marked 93. Pudding's Summer House, Extorto Inn. A sign below read, "Members, please refrain from visiting the premises immediately after serving time. The police are monitoring released convicts." There was no answer to the knock.
Give the door a good kick.
The prince shoved the door open. The room beyond was a smoky bunker, thick with booze, opium, and sweat. A rusty ship lamp hung from the ceiling.
Who is it?
I'm looking for Spiky Vanek.
That's so? I'm here.
The prince froze. It was him. That same red-haired thug who had stolen his wallet days ago. In the dim light, Vanek didn't recognize the bruised, filthy wretch before him.
What do you want?
My money.
Spiky Vanek stepped closer.
Who the hell are you?
You sucker punched me after robbing me, you coward.
Figures stirred in the shadows. Threatening shapes edged forward.
How'd you get in here, you brat?
What, you need 20 guys to come at me again? This morning it was 4. Cowardly jackals.
Everyone out. This brat just called us jackals.
Fair enough, but stay out of it. This is between me and him.
Nobody interferes. Vanek's fight.
As the bass voice echoed, the prince suddenly lunged. With a savage kick, he struck Vanek, then leapt like a wildcat. Vanek yelled, stumbling back as the prince unleashed a flurry of fists. But then, a familiar steel-hard punch struck the prince's face. Vanek's wiry arms hid shocking strength. His barely healed bruises burst open with new agony. A second blow knocked him flat.
Want more?
The prince staggered up. Vanek coldly punched him again. Third time. He barely rose. The fourth hit landed. Everything else had been nothing. His Highness collapsed in a heap, his face a bleeding, burning mess of flesh. He blacked out. To be continued.